everybody. I'm Larry Ridley.
Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway. This one taken just inside the 10. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. And trotting out there, their tall quarterback standing at 6'5". And some room to maneuver. And all the way down to the 5. A huge play there right off the bat. 61 yards on the ground. They had trouble stopping the run last week in a loss, and here it rears its ugly head early.
You're supposed to try and get your confidence going after a loss like that where you gave up big yards running the football. This is not the way to go about it. It looks exactly as it did just a week ago.
A handoff as they run the counter play. And he's going to ball his way down to about the 1-yard line. A good pickup there, 7 yards, and it's going to be 2nd and goal now. That's what they wanted out of that first down play. Run it down there. Now they're knocking on the door.
The only thing that would have been better was getting it in, and now they can do whatever they want because they've got confidence on their side. Line up quickly and go. They're savored a little bit, but I run right back at them.
Offense looks to punch it in here from the 1 on 2nd and goal. And he stopped immediately there. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
A big play to start the drive got him in this position, but this defense has held firm since, and now it's 3rd and goal. It's Coleman here. And he will not only not get the yard he needed, he goes the wrong direction. He loses 5 full yards to bring up 4.
Brandon, I believe that they were in 4-down territory, and that's what they were thinking. But after the loss, I've got to kick the field goal. No way I'm going to go for it in this situation. But you know...
Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And this one will not work out. It is incomplete. The Cardinal offense here ready to take over. And tough starting field position here.
Let's go. Green 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short gain here as he gets it up only to about the 6. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
That first down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room. If you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage. Looking to throw, and that is incomplete.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Now back to throw. And he fires one, but incomplete.
Now that's a great opening series defensively. You force what should be a 3-and-out on your opening possession.
And great coverage there on 3rd down to force the incompletion to set up 4th. Here's Andy Lee now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Now a fair catch taken just across midfield, maybe by a yard or two. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. New York set to take the field. As the season winds down and you look at them in totality, you know, the offense has struggled. The defense has been pretty good, so I would imagine the changes this offseason may be more on the offensive side of the ball.
And this is where we always hear the term complementary football, because as you noted, the defense has played well enough for them to win games, and the offense has held them back. So they've got to reward that defense by improving on offense. I don't know if you make a change, a quarterback, running back, tight end, it doesn't matter. Get better players, better system, so they can play to the standards of the defense, and the win column will result.
Partner, your thoughts on this D-line?
I love a unit that can control the run and get after the passer. This is an all-around terrific defensive front. Hard to move the ball against them on the ground, and then when you want to throw it, look out. Here they come after the quarterback.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he's going to have the 1st down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times, because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And down inside the 15 he goes. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the 1st quarter.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
Here's James to throw on 2nd down. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
Looking to throw. James. And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down.
As my dad used to tell me all the time, when you're getting ready to play a big-time game, especially when you have one going into a dome setting, better strap it up tight because that crowd can really affect things.
Especially on 3rd downs like the one we just saw there with the incompletion. And his kick is right there. It's good. And the Giants are off now to a 3-0 lead. So the drive takes them inside the 10, but it ends with just 3.
And a nice job defensively to rise up and make sure they didn't get in.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Cardinal offense coming back out. Let's give you a look at the playoff race now. This is end of the weekend in the NFC. And what they do know is they'll be playing at home come January, at least for one game, as they've locked up the NFC West. You'd love those top 2 slots, obviously, but 3 and 4, historically, really not that bad of a place to be.
No, because you're hosting. All right, you're at home, and you guarantee yourself that by winning your division in the 1st round for sure. And the other part I look at is, you and I were just talking about the NFC West. That's a tough division to win.
Yeah, typically tough year in, year out, whether you're looking in recent memory or way back in memory.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
And they give this time to the tailback. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Well, forget about finding a lane there. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Probably fortunate he was able to hold on to the football.
And 5 in the secondary now for the Giants on 3rd down. They're going to look to throw. Hard throw, incomplete.
So many offenses want to include their running backs into their passing offense and be able to swing the ball out or check it down to them. But sometimes those guys are just not as comfortable catching the ball as they are running it.
44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. A 40-yard punt, no return, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And here comes the Giants offense back out onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But also have to remember, they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14. To throw. James throwing the out route incomplete. It's Yoder. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
How about the timing on that one? Well, they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down. And the Giants send out their punter now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. Well, the Cardinals bring pressure, and they get home. It's blocked. A first update from Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. And it's the Ravens that have moved out to an early advantage. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And this is their 3rd drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. That's now 4 tackles for loss if you add the 3 he had last week to the 1 here in the first quarter.
And some of it comes from vision. And when you're playing defensive end, especially with those teams that want to take their D ends and move them out a little bit wider so they can see into the offensive backfield, they can see things develop able to make plays, then they use their athletic ability to take over and spill them.
Here we go now.
They'll drop the throw. And he spots Henderson open left side. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
On to try the field goal now, Phil Dawson. From the left hash, it's a 36-yard attempt. And Dawson's kick is good. And that will tie us at 3-3. So this offensive unit, they've now had 3 drives, and they only have 3 points to show for it.
Payoff is the key for everything. How many offenses have we talked to that say we have to finish drives? Thus far, this team hasn't finished it quite the way they wanted to.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. Fairly short kick, taking it to 14 here. And an excellent return there as he's up to the 35, but make it the 40-yard line.
Well, that return gives them a golden opportunity to go out in front. How will the defense respond after giving up that type of a return?
Let's go now. Check. Green,
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. So a field goal apiece, that's all we have here in this first quarter. 3-all the score. Back to Glendale after this timeout. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Giants with the football here as we begin quarter number 2. They've got a 2nd and 9 to start things out. Looking to throw. James. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that one was nearly picked. Not sure he was accounting for the free safety. Now it brings up 3rd down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had to fly, just sending the guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw there.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
And the Giants send out their punter now. On for his 2nd punt, and remember, his first one was blocked. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them want to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that. They weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play. Holding him to no gain.
Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Coming off the line, he's been wreaking havoc all year. And look, that's why, as a result, he's getting some looks for Defensive Player of the Year in the NFL.
And I know that many people don't have him first on their list right now, but he deserves that type of consideration. You mentioned it. All year long, he's made big plays and continues to do so. Imagine if he has a big game here. If so, he could vault himself right into the #1 spot.
Here's Andy Lee now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's able to get it out quickly, and this is not a bad kick here. So a change of possession here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. New York set to take the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before and realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well.
else.
And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
Here we go.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Play action's supposed to be used to slow down pressure, slow down blitzes. In this case, though, if it takes a little too long to develop, you have people right in your face.
And lucky just to get rid of the ball with the arm going forward. Could have been a fumble. Not much there. Maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40.
I once had a defensive player in the NFL tell me, if I beat and dominate the guy across from me, I'm helping my team. Well, winning one-on-one battles is always a part of the game, but when you have good team defense, as we just saw there, one broken tackle, but he didn't get away because the rest of the guys arrived to put him on the ground.
And he's going to go out of bounds, taking it down inside the 25. 15 yards through the air and a 1st down.
And that's how you pick up a 1st down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he's going to pull his way down to about the 1-yard line. A good run on 1st down, and now they contemplate a 2nd and goal situation.
Some good, strong running right there. Some power and some explosiveness just about got him into the end zone.
Now James looking to throw on second down. And that is caught. He's got it for a Giant touchdown. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
Now for the point after. And it is up. And it's good. That'll make our score 10-3 now. So that drive goes 8 plays. And it was finished off by a touchdown by the New York Giants. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled them up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd. He came out ready to play. That's 3 tackles for a loss, Charles, early in the second quarter.
And that's problematic for the guys trying to run offense, because that means he's got a pretty good idea of what they're doing and is actually beating them to the point of attack and making those plays. Might have to think about some misdirection or something to try and get him away from the ball.
Here's the veteran punter Lee as he sends this one away. Hammond now to return. And a big collision there as he winds up flat on his back. That'll be a 43-yard punt, but a net of just 33 following a 10-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Giants offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Back to throw. James. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Yoder. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Broken tackle. Room to run past midfield. Accelerating, and off he goes. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. A great effort there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Giants strike quickly here for 6 points. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Now the try here for the point after. It's up and good, and that makes it 17-3. So 2 plays on that scoring drive. That's how they drew it up. And the long run into the end zone, and what a run it was. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So out now come the Cardinals. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game. Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on 3rd down. And you know what offenses want? Win 1st down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on 1st down. Back to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll take this up over the 40 to about the 41. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
And the giant rush gets home as down he goes. He was superb a week ago. 3 sacks in that affair. Now 1 here in the 2nd quarter.
Well, how about our conversations this week? With him, it was pretty simple. He said, I've got a few combinations I can try it out they haven't seen yet. And on the flip side, they thought they had a plan to block him. Might need to come up with something else because he looks like he's getting loose now.
Punch, counter punch. The Cardinals on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
Let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out. So they decline it as that will bring up 4th.
And I know that yardage and field position are keys to any game played, but you got to consider downs when you're talking about penalties, and they wisely did not take that one and made it 4th down.
A reminder coming up at halftime, Larry Ridley will join us from Orlando with our halftime report, but business to take care of before that. Here's Andy Lee now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Now it's Hammond. That'll go as a 39-yard punt. Give him 9 on the return. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. Might he be on his way to a record-setting performance here, Charles? 2nd quarter and the yardage number already ridiculous.
And they always talk about just focusing on the next play. But sometimes it's okay to dream big because
I'm focusing on the 4th quarter already.
Listen, I don't blame you, though, because we could be witnessing some type of history here, and it's being done by him and, of course, the big guys up front who are creating the holes for him to run through.
Yeah, they've all been good so far.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. offense still needing 10 yards. Second down. To throw is James. To throw again. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on first and second down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And he'll be out of bounds up past the 45. A gain of 13 and also the first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
James now to throw on second down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. Well, the offense lining up first and 10. James from the gun, he'll throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Yoder. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. And the defense with their backs against the wall a little bit here as the offense is in the red zone. Here's James looking to throw on second down. That's complete right around the 8. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up first and goal.
I'd have to say they're feeling like they are in rhythm right now. Things are in sync, aren't they? Team's winning, got a nice little margin on the scoreboard, completing some passes, and they just completed another one for a first down there to the tight end.
James operating from the gun. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, it took a sack on first and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. And now the offense will look to respond after the sack.
Here we go now. 3-19.
To throw on second down, James. Throw left side complete. That's Yoder. And here he'll get it down to the 7. The catch good for 6 yards, but now it's third and goal. So we've reached halftime here on New Year's Eve, as we send you on down to our studios in Orlando, where standing by is Larry Ridley with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks, and welcome everyone to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get to the highlights. The Cardinals trail at home at halftime. The Giants will want to come out after the half and really put the pressure on from the start. Here we go. Let's do this. Here's your first half highlights. Now first and 10, Fuller is able to zero in on the QB here. This will go for a loss of 7. Cardinals later on the drive, Carey's able to zero in on the QB here. This will go for a loss of 8. Giants take it at the 1. James has got a completion here into coverage. And after the short pass, he'll score as they take the lead 7-3. First and 10. Reynolds has got it off the left side here. And he'll take this all the way for a touchdown. Giants up by 2 touchdowns.
Okay, Larry, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. This is fielded at the goal line. And now running right through it. And he'll be out of bounds across the 25. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. And he has not really been able to have a lot of comfort back there in the pocket. Pressure's been coming at him a lot, hasn't it?
And they've got to figure out how to tamp down that pressure. How do they decrease it? Is it getting rid of the football quicker? You know, shorter drops? Maybe they do something different with their pass blocking and their protection schemes. Maybe you meet them on the line of scrimmage instead of retreating to try and protect your quarterback. They've got to figure something out, though, because you cannot let your guy get hit that much, not if you intend to win.
Yeah, I know they'd like to erase that video and those 4 sacks that they've seen so far.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
And the offense moving in the wrong direction here now as they face a 2nd and 12.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
All right, Brandon, you know me as well as anyone. You know I don't usually advocate abandoning things during a game, but here we are in the second half. I think it's time to change things up. Let the running game go a little bit. Let's get to the passing game, and if you still want to get in the hands of the runner, maybe you swing it to him, throw it to him a little bit, try it that way.
And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. Here's Andy Lee now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. Taken from just outside the 30. And a big hit there as he runs into a brick wall around the 37. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive. They score here, especially a touchdown, it's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team. That their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
To throw is James. To throw on 2nd down. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down. They got the win last week despite not having any interceptions. Tried to come up with one there, could not. But there's a stat category called PBU, pass breakup. That's important too, and they got one.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it because at least you're there, knocking the ball away. Offense isn't possessing it, making plays downfield. And you just continue to harass the receivers, harass the quarterback, and maybe the big play does occur down the road.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. And the Cardinals getting set to trot out there now. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Let's go! Blue landing!
And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
The Cardinals on third down. As bad as you can be. 0 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 17.
Here we go now!
Throw right side, going to be taken in by Henderson. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. Here's Andy Lee now, standing just outside his own goal line. He'll take it at the 42. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the Giants will begin this drive in good shape, 1st and 10. James now on 1st and 10. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. So incomplete on first. Let's see what 2nd down has in store. James going to throw again. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Charles. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
They run the counter now on 1st down. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Oftentimes when a guy has a game like this, he's going to take his offensive line out to dinner afterwards. But after a play like that, he may tell him, instead of getting the steaks, guys, we might have to go for the hot dogs.
Defense in a good spot. Let's see how the offense responds with a 2nd and 13 now. Now they'll run on the draw. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. Just a yard there, so it brings up a tough 3rd and 12.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
I don't know about you, partner, but I'm rubbing my eyes after that play. Did we just see that runner not get yardage? A big-time play by the defense. It does happen occasionally, even against the best running backs who are having big days.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. Made his first. This now from 46 yards away. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And that'll push the lead up to 17. So he splits the uprights there, and I would imagine it's nice as a kicker. Right when it leaves your foot, you know it's good.
Yeah, it's kind of like a golfer that picks up his tee after a nice drive without even watching it land.
Solid analogy. I like it. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Cardinal offense now making their way back out onto the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Now they try the right side here. Even with the nice move, can't go very far. Stop short of the 30. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Yeah, that wasn't a big run, just a short one there. But guess what? Sometimes you treat it like boxing. You throw that jab out there, and you throw it again, you throw it again, then you come with a big punch later. Maybe they're just trying to set him up.
Green 39! Green 39!
Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. That time they hit him out of the slot on the drag.
And that route takes some fortitude from the guy running it, because he knows he's going through the briar patch, as I like to call it, right? He's trying to work his way through all that traffic, and people wanting to put a little contact on him. Really well done.
Open man is Henderson. That's complete. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
First down, he'll drop to throw it. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Yards left for the offense. It's 2nd down. Again, he'll drop to throw. It's caught outright by Graham. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And the lane closes up quickly as he'll get about 3 down to the 38.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
7 yards to go on 2nd down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the 3rd quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
And an update from a game going on up in Santa Clara. And the Ravens have opened things up there. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. It's up. It's good. That'll make the scoreline 20-10. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it winds up in a touchdown for Arizona. Here's Dawson now to kick this one away. Fairly short kick, taking it to 14 here. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's closing in on 200 yards on the ground with the fourth quarter still to come. We're in the third. Good shot to get there.
And now he's got to make sure he convinces his coaching staff to leave him out there and keep touching the ball, because when you've had that kind of a day, there is a tendency to think about getting him out and saving some of it. Running backs never like to save yardage.
You know he's tapping his quarterback on the shoulder. I'll take the ball again, please, right?
Not turning down any carries.
And third quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you've stopped the clock and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving it. Keep grinding clock.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. 1 quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Giants with the football and also the lead as we get set to start quarter number 4. Now a handoff as they run left side. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
So that one will be accepted. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a third down and long. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's fourth down. And the Giants send out their punter now. Remember, though, he did have one blocked earlier. This one will sail out of bounds. It'll depend on the spot here. And the side judge says that went out at the 7-yard line. Cardinal offense coming back out. Let's give you a look at the playoff race. Now, this is into the weekend in the NFC, and it's all come down to this, hasn't it? Final week of the regular season. As this year's playoffs play out anything like the regular season has gone, could be in for a wild and fun month of January.
And we can break the rules because we can look ahead. All right, there's not a coach out there that's ever said to their team, all right, let's look three weeks down the road. It's always right here, right now. Forget that. Think about what the playoffs are going to look like. The teams that we see that are already in, the teams that are trying to get in, we could have some great matchups.
A very solid gain of 27.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game. Yes. Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to run. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Here we go. 3-19.
They'll look to throw here on first down. And the Giant rush gets home as down he goes.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
They'll set up a throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. They get 7 there on the screen. It'll set up a third down.
I wonder what was going through his mind when he got the play call. He just got sacked on the previous play. He knows they're coming after him again. A little bit of guts to stand in there, take the hit, and successfully complete the screen pass. Really well done.
They'll look to throw here. And he will find his man on the end route, complete. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. And a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to third down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
Set. Green 39. Green 39.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Over the middle, he finds Henderson, complete. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line.
Set. Green 39. Green 39.
A play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
And, Charles, this infraction is going to be against the offense. False start.
Sometimes you have to get up to the line of scrimmage, make sure your team is set before you begin your cadence.
Expect this from the visiting team when playing indoors, but not the home team.
They're supposed to get all the advantages, right? The home crowd's supposed to help them. They forgot where they were, perhaps.
Let's go. Back 99 Philly. Here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34. The Cardinals on third down. Just a 20% success rate at 2 of 10. This will be 3rd and 6.
Blue 90.
He'll look to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 28. And look out. I think he's going to go. The 20. 10. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Giants touchdown. And that one will pretty much erase any hopes of a fourth quarter comeback.
With emphasis, interception, return for touchdown. Door closed, locked, reinforced.
Now the try here for the extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time, decent field position through the pick 6, obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position, not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets them a new set of downs. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
And we've got movement by one of the big boys up front for Arizona. Flag comes in.
False start, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
They'll look to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Henderson. That catch good for 5. It's third down. Those short little routes probably going to be open. The defense, they'll let those happen, especially when they can make an inbounds tackle.
Yeah, where's Coach Madden when you need him? He always talked about taking what the defense gives you, but sometimes you have to know when you have to take more. That was one of those situations.
Over the middle, complete. It's Henderson. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
First down and 10 now for the offensive group. And we've got movement by one of the big boys up front for Arizona. Flag comes in.
False start, offense.
And that'll set them back 5. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Give him a couple on the run there. It'll be 2nd and 13. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. The bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they keep handing it to him.
And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for third down. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So the Cardinals, they've got the football here as we get you reset. They face a third down now as they try to find a late score. So still in search of the first down after that last completion.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
And we've got movement by one of the big boys up front for Arizona. Flag comes in.
False start. Offense.
So that'll back him up 5. Oh, it's a nickel set here defensively on 3rd and inches.
Still want to be prepared for a pass.
Now let's go. 319.
A bullet throw, but incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Henderson. 11 yards on the pickup, and it'll give the Cardinals a 1st down.
Here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
And he whips that one incomplete there.
Well, they're slinging it, and then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
I got 83. I got 83. Here we go now. Green 39.
And we've got movement by one of the big boys up front for Arizona. Flag comes in.
False start. Offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards. And he comes back with one complete. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 13 on the play, and that's going to bring up the 3rd down. Over the middle, complete. It's Henderson. And he's able to pick up the 1st down before he's tackled right at the 10. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. He's got his man. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed. But if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively, though, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
Now Dawson for the extra point. And the lead is trimmed down to 10. So that drive, 12 plays in length. And the Cardinals cap it with a touchdown. So 2 scores down. Time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick. And this is going to be covered up by the Giants. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. New York set to take the field. Getting down to the end here, they have a 2-score lead. Barely, but it's a 2-score lead, so that probably makes you as a coach feel a lot more comfortable right now, doesn't it, Charles?
It does, but it doesn't mean now you go out and run option or some kind of a wild double reverse or anything like that. But you do know that if anything does go haywire, you're still in control of this game.
I want a double reverse, don't you?
I'm just waiting for that day where we actually see something like that in this situation.
We'll see what happens here. Second down following the run.
Here we go.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And he'll fall forward to the 29-yard line. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. That'll leave him with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. Here's James to throw on third down. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Third down is the down. Both sides know they absolutely have to win. And the name of the game for the defense is pressure on the quarterback. But pressure on the quarterback with contact, that's how you end up winning it.
So on fourth down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the right hash, it's a 46-yard attempt. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And that will stretch the lead up to 13. So they settle for just the 3 there, but clearly anything helps when you're trying to salt one away here in the fourth.
Without a doubt, I think a touchdown would have been the final nail. But 3 does give them some breathing room and lets them build up a little cushion.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. He's had quite the turnaround, Charles. At the start of the game, passing game was a little bit of a mess, but he's back on the horse, so to speak.
Love seeing how someone can rebound from a slow start or a tough start. Means that they're strong mentally. They've kind of calmed themselves down. Everyone's rallied around them. Maybe they even change game planning a little bit in order to make things better for them.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. Short play like that in this situation this late, that's a win for the defense.
No doubt. I remember something Coach Madden used to talk about all the time. Sometimes you can't just take what the defense gives you. You have to take what you need. And in this case, the offense is taking what the defense is giving them, not what they need.
And he rifles one incomplete.
You know, every time we talk with people about the most important quality for a quarterback to have in the NFL, what do they usually cite?
Arm strength.
Yeah, and that's really way down on the list. Accuracy is one of the bigger ones, maybe the foremost one. That's what he needed on that play.
All right, here we go.
And he fires one, but incomplete. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. He's going to have his running back. It's complete. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play. And on fourth down, they're able to convert and move the sticks. To throw now on 2nd and 10. And this one's incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
And the Giants will go with 6 defensive backs here on third.
Here we go now. 3-19.
He'll drop to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on fourth.
Let's go. 3-19.
Back to throw here. And that's caught inside the 35. The Cardinals forced to burn their 3rd and final timeout, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the ball game. They'll set up to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Henderson. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. One final shot. They'll look to throw. And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there. Well, Charles, it's great to win at home in the NFL. When you win on the road, it's a little extra special, isn't it?
It is, because, let's face it, in most cases, you're not expected to go on the road and win in the National Football League. It just doesn't usually compute. So to get out there, get that done, and then head back to your city with one in the victory column, oh, that's a fantastic feeling.
So for the Giants, it will wind up a .500 season, as the win means they'll finish right at 8-8. And by just about all accounts, not the type of year they were hoping to have. Meanwhile, for the Cardinals, this might wind up being a tough pill to swallow, as they're going to finish the season at 9-7. And as division champs, they will host a playoff game next week in the wild card round. So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. So long, everybody.